We've talked about this before, but the toughest thing about Maryland is the lack of brand new construction. Well, today we're gonna show you brand new construction in Baltimore County for just under $1 million. So if you've been looking for a home in and around the Baltimore metro area, maybe specifically Timonium, Maryland, well, today we have it for you. Brand new build, almost 3,000 square feet, 4 beds, 3.5 baths. Let's check this out. Today we're here off Green Spring Avenue at a brand new build. We've talked about it time and time again, how hard it is to find new construction here in the Baltimore metro area, specifically Baltimore County and even furthermore into Timonium. So today we're gonna go through this awesome new build here right behind me, 4 beds, 3.5 baths. You're gonna like some of the finishes, and as always, I'm going to point out the things that I don't like or they're not practical, because that's one of the biggest things about looking for a home and finding a home that fits you and your lifestyle. It needs to be practical. Is it practical for you, your lifestyle, and your family? Let's take a look. Okay, just like in a lot of our other videos, we want to go through the house and we want to treat this just like a showing. Like if you were here standing right next to me, right? The idea is for you to get an idea of what a home looks like, what it feels like, what the lifestyle is, and more importantly, does it function for you and your family? So we're gonna go around and take a look. Right here, I'm standing in the foyer, and I'm gonna turn this around for you. So you can see, as we walk in, these nice, like luxury vinyl plank flooring, wide plank, really nice. It is not the gray. So right, we've seen the grays time and time again. Those are out, thankfully, and this is more of like a lighter, still has a little bit of touch of that gray, but it's more of a lighter mix. So we come in, first stop here is our half bath. The good news about this is, look, it is not directly next to the kitchen. There's nothing worse than having a toilet and you walk at the door and you're next to your pantry or your kitchen island. So you can see here just how nice these are. All done very well, and in fact, it does have a light, okay? So then we come in here. This is more of like, they have it set up as an office, right? And this may be of a more practical sense for you, but maybe this is a formal dining room, right? Maybe you have a large family and you need to see something where you can have a large table, a lot of people in, and that might be beneficial for you. Maybe not. Maybe you want it to be an office. Maybe you want to put up some glass here, some glass doors here and here. Maybe that's better for you. I kind of like it how it's open, but maybe I would close it off as glass. I'm going to take a step back here. We have a nice coat closet there, super easy. We have a couple landings for our stairwell. In our stairway here, nice light. You will notice that there is a ton of light in this home, okay? Next up is our kitchen. This is really a nice kitchen here. You can see they have a nice range, microwave built in, got the pantry there in the left-hand corner, and a ton of natural light. So one of my favorite portions of this, and why this is a really functional kitchen, is not because of the countertop space along the edges of the kitchen by the windows, but is the oversized island. So this island is something where you can actually cook, use it, prepare food, and still have people far enough away from the food that allows you to not be hovering over each other, people breathing all over the food, those kinds of things, right? Gives you a lot of ability to have a large family or a large gathering, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, those types of things, all out and around, and not feel like you're losing a ton of countertop space. What it also has, which is something I really like and something I wish I personally had in my home, is a walk-in pantry. Having the pantry set aside in the corner of your kitchen really makes a big difference in my opinion. It's probably one of the best uses of space, because how often do you see a corner where it's, a bunch of lazy Susans, the spindles, right? They're in the corners and they're hardly ever used. You usually put the spice racks and all the spices in those drawers and so forth. Well, this gives you a really good ability to maximize the use of the space. So as you can see there's tons of space in there, right? Look, are you walking in there and is it like a walk-in closet? No, not necessarily, but this is perfect for a walk-in pantry. If you're somebody that has little ones, maybe nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, etc., and they're always in the pantry, I can guarantee you that they're going to be in that pantry hiding. Hide and go seek is perfect for that pantry. Let me know in the comments if a walk-in pantry would be good for you and your family, especially if you have little ones. Next up is how open this home is, right? So not only do we have this open entryway, right, that we just came through, and then we get into our kitchen, very nice and open, really high ceilings. But then we have the rest of the home where we go into our dining and then our living space, right? So there's a nice flow here, right? It's all open. So theoretically, and I don't know if this is for you or not, but if you are somebody that likes to watch TV while you eat, you do have the ability to sit at either the counter or the table and watch TV. It's not for everybody, I know that, but if you are somebody that is interested in doing that, you do have that ability, okay? But it does give you, a huge amount of space. So if you did have, maybe a larger family or a lot of guests that, typically would like to come over, or you'd like to be that person that wants to have a lot of parties and wants to have family gatherings, all of this open space is going to allow you to do that. And it's going to allow you to do that, and people are going to feel like they can still breathe. They're not going to feel overwhelmed. You have a ton of open space. Let's take a look at what I mean by that. Now, like I said, this gives us the ability to have a really nice open floor plan for our living room, right? I can't tell you how often I see a living room where it just is completely not functional. It's too narrow, right? Doesn't give you a ton of space. It gives you, basically pigeonholes you into how the room can be arranged, right? There's nothing worse, in my opinion, than being pigeonholed as to how your living room should be set up. Right? You want to have the flexibility to say, hey, look, if I want to put the TV on the wall, on the side, and have the couches surround it, I want to be able to do that. If I want to put it as it stands here in the center and still have ample ability to either put a chair or a sectional, I still want to be able to do that. This not having a fireplace, I don't know if you folks have noticed that or not, but not having a fireplace actually gives you more flexibility, because let me tell you something, you're not going to use it. You're not going to use the fireplace. And if you do, it's going to be so seldom that you're going to wonder a year or 2 or 3 from now, why did I even get this? So let's take a look at this and see, how it can work out for you. I personally like the setup where you can put a TV on the wall behind me, because I like the living room to be a little bit more wide than it is long, right? So that I can maybe put my sofa on that side, where the window is, or vice versa, frankly, depending on if you want to do the wall or a coffee stand, TV stand setup, and then have a lot of room on the sides to either get in, get out, but also maybe some chairs, so that you're not kind of pigeonholed as to, what type of furniture you need, where you can put a regular sofa, you can put a sectional, you can put a sofa and a love seat, etc. So it leaves up the possibilities to you and not what the room requires necessarily. But if you do need furniture, we do have partners in the area that are able to provide high-end furniture at fractions of the price. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you drop a comment, say sofa, and we'll get you connected with those companies and those individuals, okay? So let's take a look at the rest of the home now, specifically the mudroom. What does the mudroom do for you? If you have multiple people in the home, what the jobs you have, are you in kids' sports? A mudroom is going to be essential to your next home.
Thinking about relocating to Baltimore? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it all down below.
From top employers to best hospitals and a boatload of other things, all the stuff you'll need to know before making the move to in and around Baltimore. The best part, this guide is entirely free. Just click the link in the description at the top pinned comment. Hope this helps. All right, so mudroom style, right? For me, personally, I've got little kids. So we're getting into the sports, those types of things. We basically have all this stuff, right? They're all different ages, they're not the same age. So a lot of sizes of things. So having cubbies is almost essential. So if that's you, or you just like having your own space and your own stuff and it separated from your partner or whoever you're living with, then you're gonna like this. So here's all the cubbies that are in this mudroom. And the mudroom heads right into the garage. And then if we open up the door, we have a nice 2-car garage, pardon the echo, but this gives you a ton of space. Has the electric charger outlet already built in, so if that's something that you need, all new builds here in Maryland have spots for electric chargers, but also just gives you really high ceilings. So if you want to do some racks on the ceiling, you have the ability to, and some nice brand new garage doors. Okay, we are upstairs here in the home, and I'm going to show you the upstairs, but also let's not forget about the basement, which we'll get to next, and why I believe that has a ton of potentially for you and your family. But here, upstairs, what's unique about it, right, is right here off the steps, off the stairwell, we have our master, our primary, as it's now called. And then further, we have bedrooms here, here, and then all the way in the back. That's probably my favorite if I'm a kid, right? And then we have bathroom back there as well as bathroom here. And if you're somebody that does a lot of laundry and you hate lugging it up the stairs, or maybe you have a basement right now and that's where it's located. Well, the good news is the washer dryer combo setup laundry room is right up here. So we'll get to that. So first, let's leave the master till the end. Let's check out this first bedroom here. So we're here right off the stairwell. We do have a little linen closet here, but then we get into our first bedroom. So it's really nice, right? You got a nice big bright window. That is a queen size bed. And you actually have 2 closets, right? So some of these older homes that we'll tour don't have 2 closets, but also they just don't have enough space to essentially even use the closets. So that is the first bedroom. Now we're gonna come out here, and this is our full bath, that is the shared bath between the 2 bedrooms here in the hallway. As you can see in my camera, I'm not a professional, don't worry. All really nice, right? Pretty standard, nice big block subway tile, white, it's good to go. Okay, so that has probably been the smallest bedroom in the home, right? This next one is a bit bigger. So we come into this bedroom, and as you can see, look, we got looks like a full-size bed. Does have 2 nightstands with some room to spare, so that's good. Has 2 full windows in this room, which is nice. So you get a little bit of extra light. The door is positioned at an angle as well, right? So again, giving you a little bit more extra space. And further, it also has 2 closets. So if you come over here, you're gonna see these closets, you know, it's essentially 1 closet, but with 2 sets of doors. So if you have certain things set aside on one side and, you know, maybe winter and summer clothes, that's an option. But this is a lot of light, and there's plenty of room to either add, you know, particularly where the camera is, you can put a dresser there as well. And this is the room with the attic access. So there is a lot of storage in the attic. We're not gonna go up there. It's a really warm day. But bedroom number 2, second in terms of size. Okay, next we talked about if you hate going downstairs and doing laundry in the basement and lugging it all the way up to your rooms. Well, the washer dryer room, aka the laundry room, is right up here. We don't have any installed, so you'll be able to pick. Maybe we can negotiate that, but a pretty solid washer dryer room. Me particularly, I would like to stack them to even maximize more of the space, because if you do have multiple family members, say 2, 3, 4 kids, whatever, you want to maximize that space. Okay, now we are in the third room, right? And this is going to be the largest outside of the primary. So this one is on the far end. It's essentially above the garage if you want to think about how it's positioned in the home. But this room is maybe, you know, if you're thinking about the 90s where, you know, everybody had 2 kids, or most people had 2 kids, and you know, you had each of the kids had the smaller rooms, and then you left this bigger room, aka the guest room, open and big for any family members that came or any friends that came and stayed over. Okay, so this room is pretty big. So we got a full-size bed here. We got 2 end tables, right? The end tables give you tons of room to spare too. So if you can see me over here, look, I mean, there's tons of room. There's tons of room for a dresser. And you also have a bigger closet, and it has an ensuite bathroom. So kind of like I said, if it's a guest room, if you're using it as a guest room, or maybe the oldest child, you know, oldest family member that's not staying in the primary room, you might want to stick them in here because it does have that ensuite. So let's check out the closet and the ensuite.
Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm here with Mike as well. And as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more, and that's helping families and people from all across the country make a move here to Baltimore. I moved here about 20 years ago and I've never looked back. I love helping countless families make the move as well. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and I've linked the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. Look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Baltimore.
All right, so this is the closet. It's not a walk-in closet, but it is a pretty big closet, okay? So this is perfect for a third bedroom, okay? And now let's talk about the bathroom, right? So I am now in the bathroom. Ensuite bathroom, something that's not really typical per se for a third bedroom, but in these newer builds, you are seeing them pop up more and more. So I do like this. It's essentially a replica of the one down the hall. Now, what you've been waiting for, let's take a look at the primary. Okay, we are in the primary now, right? So this is much larger, much larger. We have a king-size bed, 2 end tables with tons of room to spare. So there's plenty of room to add a dresser, maybe an armoire, anything like that that may have interest you, or if you have a ton of clothes and so forth. It does have the ability to maybe mount a TV if you like watching TV in your bedroom, those types of things. But what it does have, that is probably the best part, is the walk-in closet and the bathroom. So let's take a look at both of those. Okay, so here is the walk-in closet. So I'm gonna back up and show you how big it is, right? Pretty big. Well, you're in store for a treat because it goes around the bend. So this is a huge walk-in closet. So it should theoretically be big enough for 2 people, depending on how much clothes you have. But this is a huge selling point to this home, especially if you've got a lot of stuff, right? And plus, who doesn't like a walk-in closet? If you don't like a walk-in closet, let me know and I'll be sure to find you properties that don't have one. Now let's talk about the primary bathroom, right? So we have some nice lighting here. We have a dual vanity, all the things that you want to see in a brand new bathroom. The toilet is right here. It has a window above it, so you get some sunlight in there. You're not in a cave when you need to use it, right? But what I like about it is this shower. So, is it missing something? Yes. Do you have any idea what that might be? If you've watched our videos before, you probably have an idea, because really get kind of as upset when, you know, I see a shower and it doesn't have a glass door, right? You can see me, they have glass over there in the mirror, right? But I'm gonna show you this shower. So no glass door, right? But again, it's in the corner, maximizing space. Nice big tile, a bench, a shower head. So there's plenty to like. So if you are interested in a huge bathroom, maybe dual vanities, maybe a corner shower, then you're gonna love this home because it's huge. The walk-in closet, awesome. And then just this primary bedroom with 2 doors for entry. There's just a ton of space here. It's carpeted, the hallways have the flooring, just like it downstairs. But now, the grand finale is the basement. Now we're in the basement and it's not finished, right? So you look around, right? It's ready to be changed, right? There's so much space here that you can do so many different things with it. And what's key and what makes it different than, let's say, 85% of the basements in and around Maryland is that it has natural light coming in. You have the egress lighting or the egress windows. So not only a sliding glass door, but you do have one on this far side here. So in the event that you wanted to do something where you wanted to put another bedroom down here, you already have the window built in, right? Because you do need that window for emergency purposes, God forbid, for it to qualify for a actual bedroom. Otherwise, it's just a room, okay? So you do have that to your access here. And then if you look back here in this back corner, you'll see, not only does it have another window, but tell me this is not perfect for a home theater, right? So if you're a big person that either wants to catch a Ravens game, or if you're coming from, hey, maybe you're coming from New York, maybe you're coming from California, maybe you're coming from Pennsylvania, and you want to catch either the Steelers, the Eagles, the 2 LA teams, the 2 New York teams. Well, here you're gonna have the ability to do that. Create a theater over here. Not necessarily a theater, but maybe just a nice little like man cave, as they say, but maybe just an entertainment center. Huge ability to do that. Now, when you do have a basement, one of the most expensive things and probably the most annoying things is to get piping in for a bathroom. The good news is this thing already is piped in for a bathroom. So you can get a full bath over here, okay? It's already got it here, it's already roughed in. So, you know, you can section it off, maybe make a wall here, wall over here, or just make this one big bathroom over here, this corner, and there you go, you're done, okay? So obviously it goes without saying, all the mechanicals are brand new, right? The AC, the furnace, everything, right? One thing that new builds do have in Maryland, besides an EV charger port, is a sprinkler system. So you will see a huge tank that is the sprinkler system. So in the event of a fire, God forbid, you do have the sprinkler system going on to help save your home, okay? But essentially a blank canvas. So if you're somebody that, you know, you want to find a home, you want to get in, but maybe you want to grow into that home, you want to add things, you know, make it your own, right? This home gives you the ability to do so. And the homes by this builder, this is something that they always do. So if you're interested in a home in the Baltimore metro area or anywhere else in Maryland, be sure to call, give us a text, like, subscribe, and we'll be sure to reach out to you so we can get you started on a path to finding one of these, because we all know they're extremely rare here in and around the Baltimore metro area. So if there's a home that you want to see, a style of home that you want to see, in an area that you want to see, be sure to drop that in the comments or shoot us a message, and we'll be sure to get you a home tour in that particular area. For Kelly, I am Mike. We will see you on the next video.